Well, hello there, fellow geeks and geekettes, and welcome to another video. It's happening, finally! The thing that we have been predicting for the last 3 years or so. Top writers, star writers from Marvel Comics and DC Comics are leaving! This is a massive exodus of the best writers that were hired on merit like 10 to 20, 30 years ago. And they are leaving for platforms like Substack or Amazon to create their creator-owned comic books. Now, I haven't been covering this because I couldn't care less about the modern comic book industry in the United States of America, but since this is already happening in such a grand scale, I have to ask you what you think about it. One of the most prominent and dominant and prolific writers of today who have already left the mainstream comic book industry are, for example, Scott Snyder, a star Batman writer. He left for Amazon to create like 8 franchises at the same time. Then James Tynion is leaving now, who is currently the Batman writer on the Batman comic book. And for those of you who don't know, Batman is and has been for a long time been considered to be the best seller of DC Comics. And after the atrocious, horrible, and shameful run on Batman by Tom King, fans have been enjoying the Batman written by James Tynion IV quite a lot. Also, Jonathan Hickman is leaving Marvel Comics, the man who has been the main man as far as the X-Men comics go for the last 2 years. He wrote the House of X and Powers of 10 comic book, which was the last good Marvel comic book that I've read. Since then, the SJWs and lefties and wokies took over and they turned the X-Men into shit again. So that might be, and it most certainly is, one of the main reasons why the writers are leaving the comic book industry in such a grand scale. They are not allowed to write good comics by the editors and the publishers, and from what you can hear and read all over the place, all over the internet, it has been covered by many websites, by many YouTubers, and even the writers themselves and the artists, not only writers, but artists also, have tweeted this on Twitter and other social media. They are not being paid well. They are being paid like sub-poverty wages for drawing comics and writing comics by Marvel and DC, in some cases by other publishers as well. So I can't really be wondering, we can't be surprised by their leaving. Now, the question remains, are the comic books going to be good? The ones that they are going to create from now on Substack, for example, which is this new, I'm not really sure, like, nobody really knows for sure how Substack works, but the core of it is, it's a subscription-based platform, like forum, where you can, for some money that you pay every month, you can read comic books digitally, right? So it's exclusively digital, the comic books. And that's where James Tynion IV left, and Jonathan Hickman as well. And they have already announced a plethora of titles that they are going to be writing, of different genres and different topics. So the question remains, again, are the comic books going to be good? Is the awful quality of the comic books that have been coming out in the last couple of years the fault of the publishers, of the editors, or do the writers also have some part in it? And have they been under the influence of the lefties and the wokies for such long time that they can't escape writing only and exclusively about different constructed agendas? Are they finally going to focus on good storytelling? And are the artists going to focus on good art? Are they going to abandon inclusion, representation, and diversity being put in the background and the good storytelling being put in the background? I mean, the simplest way I could put it is, are the comic books going to be good again? The mainstream. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about all this. Thank you very much for watching, and bye.